Hello, hello. Hope everybody can hear me, can see me, can connect to Substack. Yeah, I see that the connection is live. How are you? How is your day? How was your day? Mine was fine. Thank you for asking. Today, another crazy day in the life of Shape Robotics. As you all know, the other day, Mr. Tice has decided to disagree with the reconstruction plan, and he decided to basically participate in court on the 11th of May against the claimant Elena, who has voted pro reconstruction of Shape Robotics. What is extremely interesting and is something that we will discuss today. One second, I see that Elena is calling me. I will just mute this. 1 second, excuse me. I have to pick up because I think she's locked at the door. 1 second. A dear lady wanted to ask me to bring something for me from the shop for dinner. So apologize, we are also human. So where were we? Hi, Elena. Thank you for asking about goodies. What we can say is that we know now why Tice is waiting. This is absolutely crazy. Let me share with you something. Today, around noon, around 3, let's say. Let me check exactly. So today, around exactly 3 p.m. sharp, I get an email in my inbox that shows you that contains the following message. Let me make it bigger for you. Okay. Let me check because it's funky. Okay, dear Mark, 308. The Danish Financial Supervisory Authority notes that Shape Robotics AS was subjected to compulsory dissolution on 17th of April 2026. In this context, we kindly inform you that the DFSA has been notified by the liquidator of Shape that the request for access to document is to be withdrawn. The FSA thus understands that the company no longer has an interest in processing of the request for access to documents being completed, as the former management has resigned and the liquidator now represents the company in all aspects. And as requested, was submitted on behalf of the company. The DFSA finds no further basis to reconsider the processing of your request for access to documents. Guys, we have just received proof that Mr. Tice just asked the FSA to stop following the market abuse done by Tice during his period as trustee. So Tice's first order of business was to contact the FSA to cancel the claim that we did against Tice. Because for 59 days, he has kept every shareholder and every individual for interested or individual interested parties or interested parties of Shape Robotics in the dark. Mr. Tice just showed us what he really is up to. So he just asked the FSA on behalf of the company to cancel an inquiry into his company. This is absolutely fantastic. I don't know which book of Kafka has ever surprised, has ever shown a case similar to this one, but I'm pretty sure that it's close to the trial. But I become K today. So again, I repeat, Thijs has sent an email as liquidator to DFSA to cancel any pending document investigation that Shape had active with DFSA, protecting basically Thijs as trustee. This is freaking fabulous. So in conclusion, we now have again another proof what Thijs is up to. We have submitted to the Maritime Court a very simple claim today, asking them a simple request, asking them to immediately revoke Thijs' liquidatorship and name another liquidator that is independent. I hope that they are in their sound mind and they do not continue with this, because we have written proof that they are basically canceling the claims against them. This is absolutely amazing. And we hope that justice will be served. If not, we still have the appeal. So this is what we're fighting against, the desperate former curator that wants to cover his ass. The difference is that we're documenting everything, we're coming live, we're presenting transparently every discussion, every aspect, and he's hiding behind his desk and does shady things. Why ask the FSA to cancel this request? Why? I don't know. You could answer yourself. So another topic that I want to explain, another subject, is the subject of the reconstruction. Everybody has is aware right now that we are submitting a reconstruction through the main creditor of the company, that is Elena. Basically, the main creditor of the company is the former defunct StoryKids that was purchased by Shape Robotics. StoryKids was an arm's length transaction between Elena, the owner of StoryKids, and the acquisition was an arm's length transaction, and Shape Robotics, and it included a hefty founders, let's call it, warrant agreement and earnout that was due end of 26. Okay, we have kept our end of the bargain. We were smart in 2022. We secured this through a promissory note, in which basically all the debt that was generated, all the earnout that was generated from the transaction, was secured with a promissory note due end of 26. The promissory note had also what we call the criminal clause that stated that the company, should it be dissolved or go into bankruptcy, or basically any sort of shenanigan from the founders, we will have the right to a full cash repayment. This is what happened. That makes us, Elena, not me, because of course it is her claim, but I support her and I support the activity here, has transformed this claim into a liquid one. It's a claim that is 100% collateralized through an avalization. That is a process in which a promissory note, so a document that is issued by a bank, like a check, similar. I'm explaining it in layman's terms here, the document. So is a piece of standardized National Bank of Romania paper that was backed by Shape Robotics Romania and Shape Robotics Denmark through an aval guarantee. This is a concept that is pretty well recognized from 1930s, and it works like a charm since then. Denmark is part of the Geneva Convention that ratifies the avalization schemes and this kind of documents, and inter-country relationships, and in Europe, promissory notes are Bible or law. The promissory note has a face value, and the advantage of a promissory note for us in all this equation is that it's basically unattackable. So Thijs can do whatever he wants to do. This claim is here, and the most important aspect of this is that we are not seeking $1. So this claim becomes now the life of the company. Through this claim, we will ask everybody to follow by completely canceling any debt towards Shape, any claim on Shape. What we want is to convert in fully the debt with claims against the ones that have done Shape wrong in the last 2 years since I started as CEO, and I'm still talking about the pump and dump. So I repeat, this claim is not financial. This claim is principal. This claim is about restoring the company through a reconstruction in which we believe that everybody would require to get money out of the reconstruction from the claims against the people that did wrong to the company. So again, it's not a claim against the company. It will be transferred as a claim against the parties that have destroyed this very, very strong company. So this is a commitment that we have in front of you, the shareholders, in which, I repeat, we are not seeking cash on the claim. We are seeking to convert the claim into litigation rights and to restructure the company with a majority position over 60%. We have crammed down decision. Everybody will have to follow us. So no unsecured creditor will get any cent out of Shape Robotics today. It will get claims against the perpetrators against Shape. That's the offer. There's not going to be shareholder dilution. As much as we can protect on that, we will protect. We will try to restart the company without debt. So this company will be restarted and reconstructed without debt through this process, and we can focus then on revitalizing and restarting the company on new grounds. So I hope that I made myself understood. Let's get some questions. So the company is dead from now? No, that's what I'm saying. The company will be alive, more alive than ever through this reconstruction, because it will have zero debt, or close to zero, because we don't know how reconstruction can be processed. My understanding is that we can haircut it quite towards the zero limit. So the company will be restructured without debt. That is the plan. So a publicly traded company is available for trading from day one after the reconstruction. Almost no debt, because only the secured debt will remain, and we'll find a way to reconstruct it. And the other claims will be converted into litigation rights. That's the plan. It's very decent. It's very transparent. But TICE denied the reconstruction. So which reconstruction are we talking about? That's what I understood. The TICE denied the reconstruction, but we go to court on the 11th of May with this claim to start the reconstruction. So we will start. His denial doesn't mean anything. It means that we just have a judge to approve it. So, like I explained, it's a very strong claim, and the judge will approve it. Have this move seem immoral? Anyone reporting him? Yes, I'm reporting him. But of course, anybody that is watching this and understands and has an interest could and should report him. I also. That's not immoral. That's phantasmagorical, grotesque. Valentin. So, explaining again, Marcel, and please follow me if I'm mistaken. Please, I will explain as long as it's necessary for everyone to understand. There is a claim. There is a dominant claim. The claim that will control the direction of the reconstruction. The reconstruction will be done with or without the consent of TICE. TICE said no, so it will be done without his consent during the 11th of May trial. And during this reconstruction phase, we are aiming at zero cash conversions. Any way to restart the DFSA complaints while TICE is still liquidated? No. The complaints belong to the company, so no way. But they will restart under reconstruction, for sure. The court agreed with TICE. Last time, the court agreed with TICE. The court didn't agree with TICE. The court disagreed with us, because naming TICE was a normal decision according to court's own files. So they disagreed with us. And you have seen what they have done. But of course, like I said, we are not commenting that decisions. But the court cannot know how conflicted TICE is in this situation. So the court thinks that he's a very serious and committed liquidator in this case. But yeah, it is what it is. You have seen the behavior. So we cannot blame the judge or the court. This is why we have an appeal. Please shoot questions. So our goal is to, can Thijs do more damage to the company now that he's liquidated? Far less than he could as curator, because as liquidator, he doesn't have real power, okay? So Peter Yule Mortensen says, so nothing happens to my investment currently frozen if the procedure goes through. You mean the restructuring, Peter? Can't you speed up the appeal so Thijs has less time to do shady things? Weird that the suspect can cancel their own investigation. Yeah, it is absurd. Yeah, we have made a request today to speed up the process, but it's the High Court. This could take months, the appeal. Last time in the bankruptcy, it took 59 days, remember? Peter, if you're asking about your shares, we are trying to keep your shares intact. We are not going on the direction of SAS. I think everybody in the Nordics knows about SAS, where everybody got zero, so the initial shares were valued to zero. No, we want to keep the value of the shares as they are. No, it's not going to be the same company, the same shares, but no debt. We are restructuring the debt. We are reconstructing the company by restructuring the debt. The shares will remain intact. Maybe there's going to be a component of debt repayment through shares. We'll see. But the shares of your current shares, so the 90 million shares existing at this moment, will remain intact. I repeat, it will remain intact. So we are not doing a reconstruction against the shareholders. I have a mandate from the shareholders to do a reconstruction on the debt. And for that, I have payment tools and instruments available, litigation rights and shares. We have received the mandate for 100 million shares, legally received it, okay? So this cannot be canceled. So we for those that don't understand very well where Peter is coming from, please study the case of SAS, Scandinavian Airlines, because there in reconstruction, the old shares were valued to zero. So basically they were burned, the shares, and they created new shares to repay the company. This is the question that is in your mind, no? This is the example that you're thinking of, Peter, no? Yeah, correct. So we are trying to do it without touching that, touching the shares. We're just going to issue new shares as necessary, but the old ones will remain intact. I guarantee you this. Did any creditor agree until now on that conversion? And this is what I wanted to explain to you, Marcel. It's important that the majority agrees. The rest have to follow. It's called cram down. So the law says that if the majority agrees with the reconstruction, the rest will follow to the reconstruction. And I can tell you that we have a very strong majority agreeing with the reconstruction, close to 80% at this moment. So the only one disagreeing with the reconstruction is Thijs and his puny, tiny claim on the company that is generated from Danske. So to make a comparison, the claims right now are close to 500 million and he has a claim of 20 million. But of course, he will fight. Everybody can fight for their claim. He will try to cancel, but it's not going to happen. Let's see. If there are not so many questions, for sure I would like to edit. Hi, Bo. Hello. I'm confident. I'm confident, Marcel. So we can do the reconstruction for sure. We can do the reconstruction for sure. It's been the will of the shareholders, so we have to try to respect it. We are not in a situation where we're just accept what Thais does. Can he appeal the reconstruction if it goes through on the 11th? Very probably yes, but of course he can appeal. But we will see. But the reconstruction will be opened if he loses. So I don't expect the reconstruction to be longer than 1 month. And during reconstruction, pay attention. During reconstruction, there is a possibility, very high possibility to restart trading. So we will see what happens. Thais will be, if the reconstruction goes through on the 11th, Thais will be fired immediately as liquidator. So I guess that it's the trial of his career now on the 11th. So pay attention. On the 11th, if he loses this, he didn't agree with the reconstruction. So if the reconstruction goes through, he will be fired immediately. He might be fired earlier if the appeal goes through. We don't know. But for sure, his position is not good at all. So he has a very poor position. Like I said, he looks this desperate. How can you do as a first thing today to ask the DFSA to stop investigations into them? it's yeah, but it is a strange case, and for sure we will see more out of this. Thais is not going to give up so easily. So he fights, we fight. The difference is that I have you guys, he has nobody. So he's just the arrogance that he has. So as strong as we are together as united, the weaker he is. So Bo, please also check the recording when I will publish it, because it's very important. This podcast, this webcast will be very important for everybody to know what is exactly the plan. So we want to reconstruct without affecting the current shareholders' holdings. Okay, so the reconstruction plan is to convert debt into litigation rights. May you have a very good evening. I think we wrap up the webcast today. I will put it, of course, I will put the article later on available for everybody with all the explanations and the structure. So I have also given, yes, indeed, I have written a very comprehensive email for the shareholders. Seems he's digging himself quite a hole. My thought is that it's going to crumble if when it goes to a higher court counting in proper following of EU laws. Let's not make ourselves too focused on Thais, honestly, because in the end, our goal is to restructure the company and make the company functioning, put the company back on track and make things work again. So Thais does mistakes. I think this is the speciality of Thais today. So from my point of view, we should not worry too much at this current moment. Our goal would be to just follow and follow the plan. Yeah, nothing else. I hope I have made myself understood. I think luck is not, well, I'm cheering for Shape. Hope luck is on our side. This is not anymore about luck. It's more about applying the law and applying squeezing the enemy into the right corner when the right corner appears, So we have to be very dynamic, and of course we have to be very connected. So for those that are let's say connected also to Nordnet, I kind of ask you please to share this information about the reconstruction also there, so that everybody will stop speculating on milking the cow and any other idea. So the goal here is to convert into shares. Do you expect the media to flip if the reconstruction goes through to minimize the claims against share? I don't know. I simply don't know. It's not that relevant, I think. Honestly, if I was them, I would not flip, because they're just going to admit that they've done wrong. So the position is to keep up saying the same thing, freedom of speech, media liberties, and stuff like that. That's what I expect them to continue to do. You saw that every time that we had some good news, they did nothing, so there was now no comment on their side. Good, guys. I'll check out. Keep in touch.